In the shadows of time, a secret war raged unseen by men. Before the great flood, angels walked among us, lusting for forbidden flesh. The Book of Enoch, hidden for centuries, reveals the darkest truth known. 200 watchers sent to guide humanity chose instead to betray God. They descended upon the peak of Mount Hermon, shrouded in thick mist. Under the cold starlight, they swore a dark oath to rebel together. Their leader, the angel Semyaza, feared the consequences of this great sin. He knew the wrath of the Almighty would be swift and terrible. Yet lust consumed their hearts, blinding them to the coming divine judgment. They abandoned their heavenly stations to corrupt the sacred bloodline of mankind. Before we unveil the Forbidden Pact, subscribe now to Voices from History. Join our legion of seekers and never miss an ancient mystery unveiled. Hit that notification bell to witness the wars of the heavens yourself. The Watchers took human wives, choosing the most beautiful women of Earth. But the sin was not just physical, it was the forbidden knowledge. Azazel taught men to forge swords, shields, and breastplates of cruel war. Suddenly, the earth turned red with blood as warfare spread like plague.
Women were taught the art of cosmetics, seduction, and dark sorcery spells. The sacred secrets of heaven were traded for fleeting pleasures of flesh. Semyaza taught enchantments and root cuttings, binding human souls to dark magic. Raphael taught astrology, twisting the stars into omens of doom and death.
Gabriel taught the constellations, mapping destinies that God had meant to hide.
From this unholy union, the Nephilim were born unto the trembling earth.
Giants of immense stature, 3,000 ells high, consuming all human labor. When men could no longer feed them, the giants turned on humanity. They devoured human flesh and drank blood, violating the laws of nature. The crunch of bones echoed in the valleys as men were eaten. The earth cried out against the lawless ones, screaming for divine justice.
The souls of the dead gathered at the gates of heaven, weeping.
Their agonized cries pierced the clouds, reaching the ears of the archangels.
Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel looked down from the holy sanctuary above.
They saw the rivers of blood and the total corruption of flesh. They spoke to the Lord of Kings, pleading for immediate divine intervention.
You see what Azazel hath done, teaching all unrighteousness on the earth.
He hath revealed the eternal secrets preserved in the heavens for ages.
Semyaza have taken authority to rule over those he chose to corrupt.
The women have borne giants, and the whole earth is filled with blood.
As the archangels prepare for war, remember to like this video now. Help Voices from History spread the truth of the ancient world further. Comment below if you believe the blood of Watchers still exists today. The Most High spoke, sending Uriel to warning the son of Lamech.
Go to Noah and reveal to him the end that rapidly approaches. A deluge is coming to cover the earth and destroy all life.
Raphael was commanded to bind Azazel hand and foot in total darkness.
Cast him into the desert, which is in Dudaim, the jagged wasteland.
Pile rough and sharp rocks upon him, covering him with thick darkness.
Let him abide there forever, and cover his face from the light.
On the great day of judgment, he shall be cast into fire.
Gabriel was sent to destroy the children of the Watchers, the Nephilim.
Incite them to battle, so they may destroy one another in war.
Michael was sent to bind Semyaza and his guilty associates tightly forever. They were forced to witness the slaughter of their beloved giant children.
Their immortal hearts broke as the giants fell by mutual sword strikes. For 70 generations, they were bound under the valleys of the earth. imprisoned until the day of judgment and the consummation of the end.
The heavens shook as the watchers were dragged from their high thrones.
No mercy was granted, despite their weeping and begging for forgiveness.
Enoch, the scribe of righteousness, drafted their petition to the Lord God.
But God rejected their prayer, for their sin was too great to forgive.
The floodwaters rose, cleansing the earth of the giants' tainted blood.
Yet spirits of the Nephilim remain, wandering as evil demons on earth. They haunt the earth, seeking bodies to possess and torment forevermore.
The war in the heavens ended, but the scars remain eternal today. We live in the shadow of this ancient celestial conflict every day.
The Watchers wait in darkness, counting the days until their final judgment. If this epic tale captivated you, subscribe now to Voices from History.
Share this video to awaken others to the hidden ancient truths today. Thank you for watching, and keep seeking the answers hidden in history.